Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Teresa, and I figured it's about time that I post my middle grade March TBR. Okay, so it's middle grade March. It is currently the 11th as I am filming this. I'm a little behind on my TBR, but I've had a lot going on, trying to get a lot of things read. So for middle grade March, this is hosted by, I'm probably gonna forget somebody's name and I'm so sorry. I know that Krista from Books and Jams, I think it's Amanda from the Curly Reader. I know there's someone on Instagram. I can't remember if there's 3 or 4 people. I just remember those 2. I'm so sorry. I'll put pictures, names, everything linked down below. I film on my phone, so I can't look it up. But yeah, those, I just know like Krista and Amanda for sure are like middle grade March peoples. And I am not the biggest middle grade reader. I have nothing against middle grade. I like middle grade. I just tend to read YA adult. But this is fun because it kind of gives me a chance to go back to some of these middle grade books that have kind of been on my radar. I just haven't picked up. I have like this huge TBR, guys. I literally have, I don't even know how many books, but I have like these huge pile of library books. Also, I don't know if y'all can see, basically from that big tall blue book that way is all of my own middle grade. I'm probably not going to be reading any of those to be honest, just because I have so many checked out from the library that I want to read. Let's talk about the prompts. So basically they say if you read a middle grade book in March, you've participated in middle grade March. But they do have prompts and like a group read and everything to kind of just make things more fun. So let's go ahead and talk about the group read first. I have not read this yet, but I do have it checked out on Scribd. So I will be listening to the audiobook. And that is A Rover's Story. And I don't remember the name of the author, unfortunately. Again, it'll be on screen. I thought I had written everything down, but apparently I did not. So yeah, it's A Rover's Story. It kind of, from what I can get out of it, it seems a little bit like WALL-E. So I'm excited because I love WALL-E, the movie WALL-E from Disney, but that one is the group book. So I plan on reading that sometime in March before the end of the month. Obviously, like I said, it's the 11th, so I got some reading to do. I have read a couple already. Okay, so prompts. First prompt we have is to read a book that received an award other than the Newbery Award. And the book I chose, which I have read, and to be honest, I'm not 100% sure if this is middle grade. I mean, it says for ages 10 and up, but reading it, it seemed a bit pushing YA. So it's like kind of in the older, I would say, of the middle grade category. Young YA, late middle grade. This is Touching Spirit Bear, and this is by Ben McAllison. And as you can see, if my glare goes away, we have an award here. This won the NACRA Nautilus Award. I don't know anything about that. I do know this has won some other awards too when I looked it up online. It doesn't say on here what other awards it has won. This is very reminiscent of books like Gary Paulson. If you read Gary Paulson books, this is, I would say, if you like those type of books, this is one to check out. This is, like I said, I did read this. I think I gave it a 4 or a 4.5. Really enjoyed this book. There's some scenes in here that I'll talk about in a vlog that's coming, but there's some scenes in here that are kind of graphic and they're realistic but graphic. It's the thing. That's why I'm kind of questioning if it actually is middle grade, even though it does say 10 and up. So this book is about a 15-year-old boy who basically is destined to end up in prison because he is a troublemaker. He is very much, the world is against me, so I'm going to take and do whatever I want. And he beats up this kid, Peter, puts him in the hospital, and Peter, he had a brain, he like smashed his skull into the sidewalk. So not good. And he is basically faced with either going to jail, which most likely he'll be charged as an adult, or he can do what they call the Native American Justice Circle. And I mean, Native American. This is a type of rehabilitation that they do, and I guess from reading about this, it is in certain states they offer this as an option. And so basically he chooses to live, or to the circle justice, which means he will live. He is going to survive on a remote island in Alaska for an entire year by himself, like in isolation. That is his punishment instead of going to jail. Well, when he first gets there, within the first like day or two, he is mauled very viciously by the spirit bear. And that's the part I'm saying is quite graphic. It's very realistic, like very, very true to life. If you were mauled by a bear by yourself and you're out in the middle of nowhere, you have to survive. This book describes it quite well, but that's why I'm kind of questioning, I think, for older readers, or if you have, you know, like if you have a very sensitive child, maybe wait to give them this book. But the message in this book is phenomenal, you guys. It is phenomenal. It's just about, I don't know, it just says, will the attack of the spirit bear destroy Cole's life or save his soul? It's just about finding inner peace and coming to terms with reality and letting go of your anger. It's very, very, very good book. Highly recommend it. Okay, let's move on because this video is already long. You guys know that just my videos are long. Like I just talk. So yeah. Okay, next is sci-fi dystopian, and I'm going to be again reading Rover's story for this, which is the group book, but this is a dystopian type novel, I believe, or sci-fi. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Maybe it's sci-fi dystopian, like dual genres. I don't know. All I know is that this book fits this prompt, so that's what I'm going to be reading. And again, like I said, I don't really know what it's about. It just reminds me of Wall-E, and that makes me excited. The next prompt we have is to read a book with either the sea or the sky on the cover, and I have multiple options. But I'm gonna go through the ones I have specifically for this, and then I'll like go over the rest of my options here in a minute. So the one that I'm gonna be reading specifically for this prompt is The Eagle Huntress, the true story of a girl who soared beyond expectations. And I'm probably not gonna pronounce this name correctly. Ashlopen Nagav. I am so sorry. With Liz Welch. This is, I believe they're Mongolian. Yeah, this is about a young girl, and this is like a biography, biography. I'm not exactly sure which it is, but this is about a young girl. This is considered middle grade, that, yeah, at age 13, she achieved something that forever changed not only her life, but her community. She became the youngest and first female eagle hunter to take part in a highly competitive Golden Eagle Festival in Ogli, Mongolia. So it's basically just her story, how she raised her eagle. And you can see the picture here is her with her eagle. And it's just the true story of her and how she is pretty much like this, like super freaking awesome young girl who learned to hunt with her eagle and kind of defied expectations, because I guess like only the men, you know, do it, and older men, not young middle school age girls. So really, really cool. I'm excited to read this and just learn about her story. And as you guys can see, obviously, there's the sky on the cover. Next prompt we have is to read a book with a neurodivergent character, and the one I found that looked really good is Figure It Out, Henry Weldon. This is by Tatiana T. Davis. This is about a young girl who has dyslexia, which I did look it up, and dyslexia is considered neurodivergent. So this young girl, she's 7th grade, Henrietta Weldon, and she has to switch schools. It basically just has to deal with like middle school drama, family drama. She's on the soccer team. She has siblings and classes and all sorts of things, also while dealing with dyslexia and trying to, you know, figure out life. And it sounds really cute. My boyfriend has dyslexia, so it'll be really interesting to kind of read a little bit. I've never read about a character with dyslexia before, so I'm excited to read this one. This one would also work for Sky on the cover, because you can see there's very much a lot of sky. So I'm pretty sure you can like double up on prompts. So this one would actually work for 3, because the next prompt and the last prompt is to read a book published within the last year. So I take that to be pretty much 2013, whoa, 2023, 2022, because, you know, we're still pretty early in the year, so 2022 counts. This is a 2023 release, so this will work for that. But the book I'm actually choosing specifically for that prompt, because it is also on my Jurassic TBR for the month, is Never Never by Serena Valentino. This is the Disney Villains story, book 9. And this is all about Captain Hook. So this one was published in 2022, and that works because it was within the year. This one is Captain Hook's story of how he became who he is. And like I said, it's book 9 in the Villains series by Disney. You can read these individually, but I do recommend reading them in order because there are some kind of reoccurring characters that kind of, you know, come through the story. Though if you were to just pick it up and read it, that's fine too. Like if you have like a specific villain that you really like, you can read about them. But yeah, Captain Hook's story. Super interested to read this. So those are my like for sure books that I'm gonna be reading this month that go for middle grade March. Okay, now let's get into the rest of the books that I have that are possibilities and kind of talk about them and what my options are and like if they fill any prompts and all that goodness. So I have a bunch of books here that were published in 2022 that will count for the published within the last year prompt that are definitely options for me to pick up. The first one I have, sorry, I know it's a library copy, so it's shiny, and they always put the sticker like over the title. I'm like, can you not put the sticker anywhere else? This is You Only Live Once, David Bravo. It's about this young boy who he's in middle school and he just really doesn't have the greatest time there. He's adopted and he accidentally causes his friend, like his one and only friend, to bust his ankle during a cross-country race, and he's 100% sure that he is cursed. So he wishes he could do it all over again. He doesn't expect his wish to summon a pushy, annoying talking dog who claims to be his new timeline guide. According to Faye, somewhere in the past, David made a choice that put his life on the wrong track, and she can take him back. So it's just kind of like, it's fun. You get a talking dog. It's kind of, I guess this might be considered sci-fi. This might be considered like a sci-fi book, so that would work for that prompt as well. But he goes back in time to try and figure out what choice in his past that he made that makes him cursed, and he tries to fix it. So it just sounds really cute, and I'm sure there's like some really good, middle grade always has really great lessons in it, so this one just sounds really fun. Like I said, published in 22, and this is by Mark Oshiro. Another book here that was also, again, in 2022 is this one here. And this is Pilar Ramirez and the Escape from Zafar. This has to do with gentrification. She is Dominican Republic. She lives in Chicago. And I guess there is a family mystery that she's trying to uncover when she gets sucked into this magic island that she has to try and escape from. So it'd be really interesting to read this. Another book that came out in 2022 is The Keeper, and this is by Guadalupe Garcia McCall. This one's fun because the main character moved from Texas to Oregon, which is where I live, so it'd be kind of fun to see if there's any Pacific Northwest. Like that's like one of my buzzwords is Pacific Northwest, so I'm excited to get this one. It's kind of a spooky middle grade. No sooner have James and his family arrived in their new home than he starts getting mysterious and sinister letters from someone called the Keeper, someone who claims to be watching him, someone who is looking for young blood. James and his sister Ava are obviously in danger, but the problem with making a fuss about moving and having a history of playing practical jokes is that no one believes James, not even his parents. So he has to try and figure out who the Keeper is and basically save his family from danger. And the last book I have to fulfill the published within the past year is, this one's hard to read, The Stars Did Wander Darkling. This is another spooky book. This is by Colin Melanie. And this one says, maybe Archie Combs has been watching too many horror movies. All of a sudden, the most ordinary things have taken on a sinister edge. A penny on a doormat, a man in a brown suit under a street lamp, the persistent sound of an axe chopping in the middle of the night. He keeps telling himself that this is Seaham, a sleepy seaside town where nothing ever happens, or at least nothing did, until his dad's construction company opened up the cliff beneath the old, some say cursed, Langdon place. Soon though, he and his friends can't deny it, more and more of the adults in the town are acting strangely. An ancient, long-buried evil has been unleashed upon the community, and it's up to the kids to stop it before it's too late. So it just sounds like really fun, kind of a spooky not murder mystery, but like a spooky mystery type book. So I'm excited to get to this one as well. Okay, so some books that could fill the sky or sea on the cover prompt. And the first one here is a memoir. I know this came out, this came out in 2020. I know this was like super well received. This is a graphic novel, and it is by Victoria Jameson and Omar Mohammed. I do believe also this has disability rep in it, or maybe could possibly be works for neurodivergent as well, because I know his brother, it says, is non-verbal. So this is the story of Omar and his younger brother, and they are in a refugee camp in Kenya. And it's basically just his like autobiography in a graphic novel form, kind of dealing with the struggles of being a refugee and wanting to take care of his younger brother. He gets a chance to go to school, but he is scared because it means that he has to leave his little brother, like I said, who is nonverbal, and I believe might have some other medical issues as well. So I've just heard this book is quite beautiful, quite touching, and as a graphic novel, it should be fairly easy to get through pretty quickly. And as you guys can hopefully see on the cover, we have the night sky. Next after that, I have Brilliant, and this is by, who is this by? Roddy Doyle, illustrated by Emily Hughes. I didn't even realize this, but it does have illustrations in this book, so that is super fun. This is an Irish mystery, like middle grade mystery. I'm really excited because I am also taking part in the Irish readathon happening this month, so this book could work for that one as well. This is all about the black dog of Dublin, who when he arrives, the city's funny bone goes missing. Dads won't get out of bed, mothers no longer smile at their children, uncles lose their businesses. Raymond and Gloria have had enough, and so one night, the night before St. Patrick's Day, they set out to find Dublin's funny bone and get rid of the black dog no matter what it takes. It just sounds really fun, and as you guys can see, hopefully without the glare, you do have the night sky on the cover. After that, I have one that has the ocean or the sea on the cover, and that is One White Dolphin. I'm so sorry about the glare, you guys. And this is by Gil Lewis. This is kind of a environmental, save the ocean middle grade book. This is about a albino dolphin calf that washes ashore after being caught in some old fishing nets. It takes an unexpected new kid, a daring helicopter rescue, and a pod of dolphins, but Kara Wood won't back down. The calf must be saved, and so must the reef. I guess this town is a fisherman town, and they're destroying the reef in the ocean, and kind of, it's kind of, I'm guessing, commentary on that, while also trying to solve this baby dolphin, or trying to help save this baby dolphin. And this is written by a former veterinarian, so that is really cool. You all know I love animals, conservation, all that kind of stuff, so I am excited to hopefully get this one read this month. Okay, I have two more that work for the sea/sky prompt. Both of them have sky. And the first one is A Slip of a Girl by Patricia Riley Gift. And this is a Newbery Honor winner, but of course we don't want to read just Newbery books. We're looking for other awards besides Newbery. So this one works for Sky. This is also a Irish book, so this will work for the Irish readathon. This is a historical fiction, and it's actually written in, I believe it's verse, like it looks like poetry, but I believe it's written, that's considered verse, not poetry. I don't know. It does have images in here as well, actually, which look like, yeah, they're actual real photographs. And this is during the, I think it's during the potato famine. So it's about a young heroine during the Irish Land War. So this young girl promises her mom that she will always look after their home and their youngest sister who needs extra care. And it says an English earl who owns much of the land in her part of country longed for tries to seize their farm for sheep pasture. Anna is faced with the impossible choice: give up her house to be destroyed or face imprisonment. And then there's growing whispers of rebellion in the country. I don't know if this is considered a historical fiction. I don't know if it's considered potato famine. I'm not exactly sure if that was also Irish Land Wars, if that's the same thing, same time. I'm not sure. But hopefully by reading this book, I will be able to find out. And again, like I said, it works for the Irish Readathon as well. And the last book I have to show you for this prompt is Anna Was Here, and this is by Jane Kurtz. So this is about a young girl who has to move to this small town, and basically just crazy stuff happens. So luckily Anna is gold ribbon safety citizen, prepared for almost everything. Unluckily, Hannah isn't ready for cousins, lost cats, water balloons, and rotten eggs, peculiar relatives, blisters, emus, missing moms, church potlucks, and tornadoes. So it sounds quite fun, quite an adventurous story of this young girl. And you can see there is a lot of sky on this cover, so it works for this prompt as well. So this next book, I'm not sure if it fits in any categories, but it was just one that just seemed really sweet. And I really like the cover. It does talk about how one of the characters has mental illness, so I don't know if that is neurodivergent per se, or a different type of mental illness, but I'm excited to read it nonetheless. And that would be Trowbridge Road. This is by Marcella Pixley, and this seems like it's probably a pretty heavy hitter. There we go. I'm just going to read you a little bit of what it says here. From the outside, Trowbridge Road seems like an idyllic suburban street, but for Junebug, it's a sanctuary from the silence of her home where secrets are hidden in shuttered rooms. Her mother, obsessed with illness since June's father died of AIDS, is frail with anxiety and grief, and Uncle Toby comes with food only once a week. Every other day, it is just Junebug and her mother shut up inside the quiet old house. Then one day, a strange boy named Ziggy moves in down the street. His long red hair, pet ferret, and unstable home life make him a target for taunting neighborhood kids. But to June, he is an equal in matters of imagination. From their secret fortress behind the orchard, the two outsiders push the boundaries of make-believe, finding new ways to rescue each other from the demons that haunt them. Acclaimed author Marcella Pixley brings to light the secret lives of children touched by mental illness and grief, whose fierce love and loyalty often put them in the path of pain, embracing the power of imagination to transcend the small, broken ways of reality. Trowbridge Road is the portrait of family love, even in the face of tragedy. So it just sounds like a really beautiful book, and I'm really excited to read this one as well. Okay, here's another one actually that would work for Sky and Sea on the cover because it has both. Totally did not even realize that. But that's Wings of Fire. This is completely different than any of the other books I've shown you so far. This is like straight up fantasy. This is Wings of Fire, The Dragonaut Prophecy, and this is by, they always put the little thing right where I can't see the title, Tui T. Sutherland. I really don't know much about what this is. I just saw it and it looked good, so I picked it up. Dragon book. It sounds fun, and as you guys can see, a lot of sky and a little bit of sea on the cover. I guess this one also has sea. I totally did not realize that till I'm like picking these up and looking at them. A lot of these books actually will work for that prompt. I think the most prolific prompt that I have. And this next one is The Stormkeeper's Island. This is another Irish book. This is by Catherine Doyle. And I don't know if you guys can see, there is the ocean there, and you have like a lighthouse and everything in the background. This is an Irish name, and I'm probably pronouncing it incorrectly. Fionn? It's Fionn. I'm just gonna say Fian. For years, Fian's mother has told him stories of the mysterious Arnamore Island, and from the day he arrives, he notices things that can't be explained. He senses magic all around him and feels like the island is watching him too. Once in a generation, Arnamore chooses a new Stormkeeper to wield its power and keep his magic safe from enemies. The time has come for Fion's grandfather, a secretive and eclectic or eccentric old man, to step down. But it is Fian, I think I pronounce it differently every time, and the other descendants of Arnamore's most powerful families fight to become the island's next protector. A more sinister magic is waking up, intent on rekindling an ancient war, changing Fion's life and the island's future forever. So just like super adventurous, fun, island magic, I don't know, but it's Irish and it's got the sea on the cover. So this is another option that I may read this month. Okay, this one doesn't really have, as far as I know, it does not fit any of the prompts, but it's okay. It's another middle grade that looked really fun. And that is A Game of Fox and Squirrels. You might be able to tell like a theme in the type of books that I am picking up. This is by Jen Reese. This is another book set in Oregon, so that's pretty fun. This is about two sisters who are sent to live in rural Oregon with an aunt they never met after a family tragedy. So there's this game that their aunt plays called Fox and Squirrels. The main character, Sam, falls in love with the animal characters, especially the charming trickster fox, Ashinder. Then one day, Ashinder shows up in Sam's room and offers her an adventure and the promise: find the golden acorn and Sam can have anything she desires. But the fox is hiding rules that Sam isn't prepared for, and her new home feels more welcoming than she'd ever expected. As Sam is swept up in the dangerous jest, the line between magic and reality grows thin. If she makes the wrong move, she'll lose far more than just a game. Yeah, I don't know. It just, the cover alone. Oh, the cover and the title, like, come on. Y'all know me. It just looks super, super fun. Okay, and the next three are just animal books that I really want to get to because I love animal stories. And first up, we have A Wolf Called Wander. This is by Roseanne Perry. I guess you could say there's Sky on this as well. Like all these books work for that pretty much. It's just about a young wolf who basically his family is scattered after a rival pack attacks, and he has to make a trip through the wilderness to try and find a new place for him to live. This is another book set in the Pacific Northwest, and it is based on the extraordinary true story of a wolf named OR7, and often called Journey, a wild wolf who traveled a remarkable 1,000 miles across the Pacific Northwest. I do actually remember hearing about this story on the news, so I'm excited to pick this up and kind of learn a little bit more about this amazing creature. And the last two books I have to talk about, you guys, are Pax and Pax Journey Home. These books are by Sarah Pennypacker and are illustrated by John Cleason. Aren't these super cute? So this first book, Pax, is about a young a fox kit who is rescued by this young boy and his father, but his dad enlists in the military and makes him return the fox to the wild. At his grandfather's house, 300 miles away from home, Peter knows he isn't where he should be with Pax. He strikes out on his own despite the encroaching war, spurred by love, loyalty, and grief to be reunited with his fox. Meanwhile, Pax, steadfastly waiting for his boy, embarks on an adventure and discoveries of his own. So just like adorable about a fox and his boy. Probably gonna make me cry, I'm not gonna lie. And then the second book obviously is just a follow-up. I don't really want to look into it more. I don't want any spoilers, but they just, the beautiful, beautiful covers, and animal books always make me cry. So pretty sure that these ones here, all of these books here, these animal books are probably gonna make me cry. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we got animal books, we got like some hard-hitting contemporary, we got some fantasy, we got some spooky books, all sorts of things, and just a really, really fun month. So I'm super excited to dive more into middle grade March and check out these books. Let me know, you guys, if you have read any of these books, if you plan on reading any of them anytime soon, if you're participating in middle grade March, all of that good stuff. Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to chat with you. and hopefully maybe we can read some really good books together, and I will hopefully let you know at the end of the month what I read and what I thought of everything. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to the wonderful ladies who are putting on Middle Grade March. I'm really excited to be participating this year. All right, guys, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff if you would please, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!